This actually works pretty well. Back in the day, this would be about $2,000–$3,000 worth of phones. So you're doing your shopping at Apple, and a bunch of people just come into the store and start snatching iPhones off of all of their display units. Welcome to your weekly dose of Apple Crime Time. I'm Everything Apple Pro, and I'm going to be your host tonight, where we're talking about robberies, fraud, even a fake iPhone ring bust. There's quite a lot of dirty deeds that have been going on. Let's go ahead and talk about our weekly Apple news. The interesting thing is, these guys weren't happy with one trip. They got a handful of iPhones off of the tables, and they come back a few days later and do the very same thing. That's just crazy. They actually almost got stopped on the second time someone was holding the door, so this one's a bit interesting. Those iPhones that they're stealing, first off, Apple made it very easy for them to steal. If you guys didn't know, Apple's removing the tethers off of the back of these iPhones in order to make picking them up more of a seamless experience, so you don't feel like it's locked down. That's some logic behind it with Apple, of course, but these guys are stealing them, and there are some that are on tethers. You can see they're struggling pulling them out of the store. You know, these phones are pretty much worthless. You can get the price of a display and maybe the casing itself. Batteries are very cheap, but I mean, these phones which sell for like $650, $750, they're going to be pretty much worth $200–$300. I'm just not sure if they don't understand that these phones are immediately locked out, and Apple doesn't let you turn them off. So if they don't know how to force reset them, they can be tracked very easily. And I wanted to show this to you. So this is my iPhone 4. If you can see that little spot back there, Apple used to have these on the tethers, and they would be glued down. When I first bought the iPhone 4, it was really hard to get. These things were sold out like crazy. The Retina display was amazing, and I really wanted it. So I met up with someone at Fred Meyer's at the time. I was so ecstatic to buy this phone. When I got home, I took it out of the case and it had this on it. Now, I just thought, okay, I got ripped off. This guy scratched the crap out of his phone, but turns out it was stolen. So yeah, and back in the day, you could actually restore the phone from Apple's demo software and continue to use it. Nowadays, there's this thing called iCloud that locks the phone, so you know, those phones are pretty much worth their price in parts. This one grabbed my attention for sure. There has been a bust in Brooklyn for a small cell phone store that turned out to be a front for a huge empire of reselling fake iPhones. Now, don't worry, if you have one, if you bought one online, you're not going to get busted down. These guys were on a huge scale, $10 million worth of fake iPhones. I'm not sure if that price is based on the worth the phones are in, if they were to be faked with a real phone, or just the worth of these $200 fake phones. I don't know. Either way is pretty bad. So 3 guys, 23, 24, and 27 were arrested, and holy crap, there were boxes full of iPhones. $70-something thousand in cash was found there too. I literally had no idea that this was taken so seriously, but 9-month investigation to catch them for $10 million. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so might not be making iPhone clone videos anymore. That's a bit scary. So far to wrap them around, definitely gonna need some stronger tape, but you guys get the idea. Oh wait, that defeats the purpose. So can you guys imagine becoming a millionaire off of smuggling iPhones out of the Apple factory? Well, this guy did it with several accomplices actually, and it's pretty crazy. This goes far back to 2013, 2014 era with the iPhone 5 and 5S, and this ringleader from Foxconn, his name is Tsai, that's the only thing we know about him, made $1.6 million, 1.5 something, I mean, and his accomplices as a whole made $2.2 million by smuggling defective iPhone 5 and 5S models out of the factory and selling them to little Chinese markets here and there. So the only flaw in their plan was eventually Apple is gonna find out, and they didn't anticipate it so soon, so they're all facing 10 years in prison minimum, or I think that's the sentence in general right now. But they made a lot of money. I doubt they'll get to keep it. Apple's definitely not happy with that, but it's just kind of crazy how long this went on for, and the only reason they even found out was because of an audit in the company. They went and looked at all their books and all that, and they found out, where is this money coming from? Where are those iPhones? And there it is. So, didn't think that one through too well. So you guys know the whole Apple versus FBI battle, right? Well, UK police have a very interesting stance on the issue. Instead of fighting it out in court, whether or not forcing Apple to unlock a phone of a convicted criminal or suspected criminal, they are actually taking matters into their own hands by stalking out a person that they are suspecting of a crime, and whenever they're using their phone, then they make the arrest. So they literally, they're circumventing the whole issue with the judge, whether or not it's legal to unlock the phone. They literally have an unlocked phone right there as they wait to catch the suspect while he's on the phone using it. And they actually have one guy sitting on the phone, moving between pages to keep the phone awake. You guys know there's a thing called auto sleep, right? But, you know, that's just kind of crazy. Taking matters into their own hands. That title really caught my eye this week. So enough crime. Let's talk about some interesting tech and some disappointing and sad stuff too in the world of Apple this week. So first off, if you guys have an iPhone 5, hang on to it. It's going to be really, really awesome because the people that are still on iOS 9 that can jailbreak might be able to dual boot iOS 6 and iOS 9 at the same time. So there's this guy that says it's a possibility he could release how to do this in a certain method. So how cool would it be? I mean, it's not very practical. Not many people are using their iPhone 5s as a daily device right now. I mean, how cool would it be to visit the past on iOS 6 and then be able to use a jailbroken iPhone on iOS 9? So the whole issue with the iPhone 6s batteries. Apple finally said why they're failing. Apparently on the manufacturing line, some of the lithium batteries were exposed to ambient air a little bit longer than they should have, and as a result, they are failing, so the phone is just dying at 30, 40, 20% instead of going all the way down to zero like it should. Apple says it's not a safety issue, but if you guys do have a 6S that exhibits any of those behaviors, I'll leave a link down below to where you guys can check if your iPhone is eligible for this replacement. Now, my friend has the same issue on his 6S, but his serial isn't listed there. I think it's still worth the visit to Apple if you guys are having that issue, just to talk to them about it. Apple can be very reasonable about these things, so if you guys want, it's worth a shot going to Apple, even if your iPhone is not listed under the eligible phones. I didn't actually think that I would be affected by this issue, but my speaker on my MacBook Pro, the right one, blew because of the whole Boot Camp issue. In a nutshell, if you guys are installing Windows through Boot Camp on your 2016 MacBook Pro, whichever model, make sure you do have the latest Boot Camp drivers from Apple, as they blow the speakers. They just crackle and pop, and it happened to mine, so I want to show you guys. I'm going to do the balance all the way on the right so you guys can hear what the speaker sounds like. Oh, my ears, it hurts. And this is the other one. Clear. This one's muddled and definitely, yeah, can't take that. Okay, so sadly, my speaker did blow on my MacBook Pro, which I'm going in to get it fixed, hopefully just a little bit here. Now, this one's actually a pretty big issue. If you guys open up your calendar, you might see a ton of events everywhere. There's a famous Apple spam going on right now with iOS 10. So people have taken advantage of the fact that Calendar actually finds events from your mail and puts them in there automatically, whether you ask for it or not. So you guys might find a lot of product advertisement notifications on your phone. Like for this is Michael Kors purse for me. And whether or not you say accept or not, don't click anything. Just delete the notification, because as soon as you click decline, they know that you responded, you saw the ad. So they just like start throwing way, way more into your calendar. I clicked no on one, and now my whole row is full. So yeah, guys, Apple has actually went out and said that they are going to fix this spam issue. Check your calendars. I'm sure more than half of you guys have this issue on your phone right now. And this little guy could kill you. So there's been a study this week that showed that 99% of Apple third-party charger blocks, cables are unsafe. And a small portion of those can deliver lethal electrocution to the user. So guys, if you do use a fake Apple charger, if you're not sure if it's fake, I'll leave a link down below how to tell, but it could actually be very, very dangerous for you. And yes, Apple charges $20 for one of these for a cable, but in the end, there's a lot of research and development, quality products that go into it to ensure you're not gonna die and burn in your sleep. So do use the proper ones, guys. It's a little bit worrying. And this one is fake, by the way. I found out by this website that I am linking down below. So guys, there is just the weekly news update. A lot of crime this time around with the Apple world. So it seems like there's always so much negative news, either crime or problems Apple's having. I just want one week to be full of good Apple news. I can't wait. One day maybe that'll happen. But anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. Got an exciting week of Apple videos coming up.